Good morning, everybody. And again, thank you to everyone doing the right thing out there. We're going to get through this, like I've always said. As of today, we have 2,359 positive cases of the coronavirus in Albany County, 450 people under mandatory quarantine. So we're up 10 positive cases since yesterday. So I believe yesterday was 4, and Saturday was 6, and on Friday was 11. So it seems like we're going up, down, up, down. But again, out of the 10 new positive cases, 1 is a healthcare worker. 5 had close contact to positive cases. 1 had reported traveling out of the state, and 3 didn't have a clear source of infection. 8,061 people have completed quarantine. Out of those, 323 tested positive for the virus have recovered. That's 6 new recoveries since the other day. There are now 5 people hospitalized with a hospitalization rate of 0.21% of those who've tested positive, and it was the same rate yesterday. As you know, Friday we went up a little bit and then we went back down, but we have 5 people in the hospital and 2 currently in the ICU. So that's on Friday we're at 1, today we're at 2, and I think Saturday we had 3 people in the ICU and we dropped back down to 1. But over the last 5 days, there's been an average of 7.4 new positive cases each day, and yesterday it was 7.8, so that dropped down a little bit. As the governor continues to tell everyone to go out there and get tested, please do. It doesn't cost you anything. I think the Times Union did, I don't know if it was Saturday or Sunday, did a great story on one of the hospitals about how they were charging people and they got all the grant funding not to. Look, we've been paying for it. We're not getting reimbursed by the federal government, so I want to make that clear. That was one of the questions I've got over the weekend. No, it's coming out of the county for any test that someone doesn't have it. So yes, it is a little aggravating for everybody when these tests should be free and available, that we're charging people. They got reimbursed for it. They should be giving these tests for free like the governor's doing at Albany. But again, we're encouraging everyone to go out there to get tested. We need to know the number for the epi people, but for tracing and tracking, it lets Dr. Whalen's team understand where, if it's affecting a certain area and how it's traveling, so they can do their job to protect us going forward, which you have done a great job, Dr. Whalen, to you and your team, so thank you. Also, our mobile testing sites are still up and running. Area code 518-465-4771, and then Rite Aid in Colony, go to the website, and also Priority 1 in Gilliland, the antibody testing at 518-867-8040. Just remember to do the 4 things. We'll get through this. Keep 6 feet apart, wear your mask properly, cough into your arm, and clean your hands constantly, and we'll get through it. It is still, I do see a lot of people still out there wearing their mask wrong underneath their nose or forgetting to pull it up. It becomes habit forming. So if you don't get out of that habit and just wear it right, other than when you're alone or in your car by yourself or if you're out, I know a lot of people still don't believe in the mask. I think Dr. Whalen did a great job on Friday clarifying why you need to wear a mask and how this is going to stop this spread. And one of the things we're really concerned about going forward is the flu season starting in October. Is that going to affect this? If this is still here, are we going to go back to high hospitalization rates? That's one of the things we have to be wary of. The other thing is the schools. I'm getting a lot of outreach from parents. The governor set the guidelines. The school districts have to decide. I know everyone saw the different videos and stuff out on the different news networks about Georgia and the spread there, how 1 or 9 kids got it and they're doing more testing, and Dr. Whalen could probably talk more about that, the science behind all that, and that's what we're going to be looking at going forward. And some of the kids that have got sick in these school districts, this is something that the governor set up. Really mathematically looked at the equation, how we can make it better going forward, and that's why you're going to see alternate school days. And I say to the parents, please, if you're uncomfortable, stay home. But the logistics, as we reopen and reimagine, people are going to start going back to work. Workers are going to be called into the buildings. Now you got daycare issues. You have issues with kids under the age of 15, leaving them home alone. And if it's alternate days, how do you find somebody when no one's allowed to babysit? So it's going to be an issue. It's going to be a struggle for a lot of people. I say to the business owners that are already struggling, please, we got to try to work this out together, and we got to try to figure this out together, because we need to get through this together. So keep that all in mind. Also, our businesses, talking about that, and the reason why I got Betsy Manware with me today is the fact that businesses are struggling. I've said this, the backbone of our communities are small business, not Walmart and Sam's Club. Not that I'm picking on them, but I'm watching little companies get fined in restaurants and bars. I have not seen Walmart or Target or Sam's Club get one fine, and they've been open up the longest, and I think it was 18 weeks before they got it right, and they still don't got it right in certain cases. It's not fair. They're struggling. They're reimagining how they're going to operate going forward. In certain cases, some of them aren't even opening up because they can't figure it out, or they just don't want the SLA or this one come in on them or that one find them, or catering. So how do you do that as you move forward? It's under 50 people. I just got a Facebook message from someone about bingo. They wanted over 50 people. Look, the governor sets the rules. We bring it up in the control room when we have our meetings, and it's like every other day now that we're having our meetings in the control room. I bring up the gyms. I bring up everything that we need to bring up, and we just wait for them to tell us what the guidance is going forward. And again, I know the governor's trying to be cautious. I know the governor's trying to do the right thing for New Yorkers. It's easy to point the finger. It's easy to be the Monday morning quarterback and be pissed off. I get it. There's a lot of mad people out there that don't see their companies coming back. But, just like Betsy Manware has a business over 16 years. She owns the Healthy Calf Catering and has, probably hasn't been easy since it started. Weddings, again, having a daughter that was supposed to get married in May, then October, or actually August, now October. And, changing the event 3 times. And listen, I have a big family. I think my immediate family is just 100, every Sunday, just regardless. I do love you all. I really don't. But every Sunday they used to be at the house, not anymore. But and then my son-in-law to be has a big family, so it's tough. So you got to keep it under 50 people. And let me tell you, I'm gonna have a lot of family members mad at me, but I can't imagine what you're catering going forward and everything that you've been planning for this year and changing and trying to work with people. How do you do it safely? So who better than to talk about what you reimagined and how things are going for you in the future, Betsy?
It's been tough. It's been kind of just a roller coaster of emotions, and we closed back when everything was shut down and decided not to do any type of takeout, and reopened during early June, and then it's just tough because I don't have a restaurant. It's just we do all catering, so all our events and everything we've done is pretty much at a standstill. We do a lot of corporate catering, and offices people aren't back to work. They're working from home, so it's kind of eliminated at least 60% of our business. And weddings have been canceled and any type of big event. So we've tried to just hunker down and focus on smaller type of parties, whether it be graduations and things for 20 people, or we've picked up a lot of small weddings, backyard weddings, doing things for like 60 people, 50 people. And that's, knock on wood, has been picking up slightly. So we're, just trying to weather the storm and survive. That's the goal. It's going to be, we know it's going to probably go into at least January, and hopefully not longer, but we're just trying to make the best of it and trying to keep my employees working and having a steady income, and just going from there, being hopeful.
Now you have 3 to 5 employees, correct?
Yeah.
Full time. Did you benefit from the PPP program at all?
Absolutely.
Did you? Good.
Yeah, very thankful that I got that. It's really probably keeping us afloat right now, where I'm not having to go into, kind of like a reserve. And the fact that it went from 8 weeks to the end of December is really helpful. Trying to spend that in 8 weeks was going to be difficult, so it's been helpful that they extended it and, can write it out.
No, that's good. So, one of the things I hear from businesses like you is just that they didn't have the opportunity to fill out the business or the paperwork you need to fill out for the PPP,
yeah,
and other things that, I think the TU did a great story on all the companies that made out millions of dollars through this, and I think the backbone of our community, and I keep saying it, is because your businesses and the ones on Central Avenue and all over the county that are on the street corners are our backbone. And when they can't get the same reimbursement or know how to fill out the paperwork, it's unfair because they're struggling. They're struggling as it is and trying to reimagine. Is there anything else that you would give recommendations to anyone out in the catering business or just in business in general that might help them try to get through this?
Yeah, I mean, I would suggest to people to reach out to, like local offices, city. I know the mayor has been helpful. Central Ave Bid, Anthony Capice has been really helpful to me. Just trying to steer you in the right direction to what's offered and what's out there. I did spend a lot of time filling out applications, and some of them were easier than others, but it's time consuming, and that was like the first month of the pandemic is really what I did. Getting things deferred and loans and whatnot, and I mean, I just think you have to seek help. If you don't have any knowledge about something, there's people who could help you. So.
No, that's good to know, because you do have the Central Avenue bid, right, and then the Downtown Business Advisory Committee, and then you have the chambers that these smaller companies should be reaching out to. I get it. I've talked to a lot of them. They don't know, or in certain cases there's a language barrier, and they don't understand how to fill it out or where they go. Especially the ones that were looted, didn't really have insurance to cover some of that stuff, and they're trying to rebuild. So it's a new world out there that we have to reimagine. And one of the things we were lobbying hard for, and spent my whole weekend arguing on the phone with a variety of county executives and people around the country, was the stimulus package 5 that we really needed to relieve us going forward. And because tough decisions got to be made, and I got to tell you, as we move forward, you're going to see, unfortunately, situations that have to be made, and not just the state government, which I think was there's some stories on in the paper over the weekend about cutting some people with disabilities and jobs like that. These tough decisions are going to be made, and I think people still are grasping the reality that we're in moving forward. I can assure you, government's going to look different in the next couple months and next year. It's going to be tough decisions that we have to make to operate to go forward. And without a bailout from the federal government, the governor is going to push a lot of these programs down to the counties or make us raise things. And it's going to be harder for companies like yourself to reopen, to get back to where we're at. And especially if people aren't back at work and we get hit with a second wave of this, it's a lot. I know it's a lot of what ifs, and I'm not trying to fearmonger. So I just want to tell people, listen, it's not my job to scare you. It's my job to give you some feel safe. It's my job to make you feel secure, not to sit here and stare you in the wrong direction. And I've said this, I don't really care about what party affiliation you are. We need to stop pointing the finger and work together, because we need to get through this. And the only way we're going to do that is if Congress stops the fighting and the Senate stops the fighting. And I'm hoping that, I'm hoping that the Republicans are playing a political game, and at the end of September, that they're going to come out and bail us out before the presidential race to say, look what we did. If that's a fact, great, you win the chess match. But again, there's people's lives at stake. There's companies at stake. There's people that aren't going to be able to rebuild their lives. And I know you're not going to see the soup kitchens of the 1930s, but you're going to see long lines. If you don't drive around and see these food pantries that are up all around the county that been there, that a lot of people don't pay attention to, you're going to see longer and longer lines. You're going to see issues like that. Thank goodness the governor put the moratorium in the House on the evictions, and so did the president. But the issue with that is that these landlords that own these buildings aren't going to pay their taxes because they're not going to have the money. So it's going to fall back on the county of getting less taxes on top of everything else. So again, we have to pay our bills. We have to do different things, and so do these companies out there. But please, let's all try to work together for the common goal of moving this country forward. But Dr. Whalen.
Good morning. So this morning, I just wanted to speak a little bit about the decision made by the governor on Friday to open the schools in New York State. And I know that there are a lot of parents at home and a lot of teachers that are concerned about this decision, especially in light of what we have seen in other states. I want to hopefully offer some reassurance today and talk about plans going forward. First of all, I would say that what we have seen happen in states like Georgia, I don't think, this is not Georgia. Our percent positivity is much lower, and I think that, the compliance that we have noticed and the education that we have noticed in New York State, the plans that the educators have worked so hard, all the different school districts, to come up with, is really laudable. They've done a great job to put in place mechanisms to protect their student population and their teachers going back. And we have very low circulation of COVID at this time. So while unfortunately we cannot say that this is a completely risk-free environment, we know that looking at the rest of the country, we're in a pretty good place. We're in probably the best place possible. This summer, we have had a couple of opportunities to see, what would happen if we get positive cases in the school, and I think that that's another area that I'd like to reassure residents with. The cases that we've had in congregate setting with children this summer have all been very proactively responded to. What we do is, as soon as we have a case that's identified, we identify contacts. The contacts are immediately excluded and recommended for testing. We test the contacts and then broaden the net if necessary. We've worked very closely with the state and are prepared to work very closely with the school districts going forward. The work that we have done this summer, the limited work that we've done with the school districts, really shows me that they will be very proactive. They're all very interested in how to respond, keeping the children as safe as possible. So, I understand the concerns that people have, but I think that, when we look at this in terms of the overall percent positivity of the tests that we currently have, the fact that we have very low cases in Albany County, I think we're positioned to, go in with the lessons that we've learned, with the protective practices that we have discussed from day one. And the local health department will be integral in this response and look forward to working with the school districts.
Thank you, Liza, and again, thank you to everybody. But I also want to remind everyone it's week 13 of the Albany County Stay Safe Teen Challenge in conjunction with PAL and AT&T. So what we're asking kids to do is anyone going to college or going to high school or middle school, who's ever out there, reimagine what you think it's going to look like before the school system opens up. The kids that are back at college, it's too late, so we'll check your school out. So, but to the ones that have not got back to college yet, please, what you think your freshman year is going to look like, even your sophomore, junior, or senior year, because it is all different. A lot of colleges are going online, they're going virtual, so it's going to be a little bit different of a school semester for these college kids going back. But again, as always, thank you to PAL and AT&T. You'll get a $25 gift card, and please submit it by this Saturday, by the 19th. And also, your photo can go to hashtag Albany County Stay Safe by Saturday, like I said. Also, I want to remind everyone the mental health hotline that we have available. Please, by all means, call. We've had a little increase in call volumes this week, but again, it's that's what we're there for. It's 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The number is 518-269-6634. Please call. And our 24-hour sexual assault hotline number, area code 518-447-7716, and the 211 in New York State hotline. Again, please continue to do the right thing. We'll get through this. I know it's difficult. I know there's a lot of tough decisions out there people are making. I know a lot of kids are out there playing again, and I know we get a lot of complaints for people seeing things on Facebook or sending pictures about basketball being played and a variety of other things. We can't be the total enforcement agency. We need people out there that say something. This has to be done on the local level between the cities, towns, and villages that have to do the right thing. And it actually boils down to the parents doing the right thing. I know it's tough to tell your kids they can't play in groups. I know it's tough to say you don't want your son, daughter doing travel. But again, we're not, Dr. Will and I are not sitting here for the last almost 6 months, and it will be 6 months on Wednesday, that we're just saying this because we want to say this or scare you. We just want your kids to be safe, and we don't want anything to happen to anyone. Thank you again.